Here is Ghostrunner.
An armed and dangerous criminal has been spotted in the area. All Dharma City residents should remain indoors for their own safety. Residents found outside their homes will be shot on sight.
It's fast, very fast, but it can also be slow when you want it to be. You can kill fast in this game, everything dies in one hit, but so do you, hence the title of the video, Kill Fast, Die Faster. Ghostrunner is a first-person action melee game emphasizing high-level platforming, quick reaction times, and constant movement. If you stop moving, you die fast. If your platforming is off, you die even faster. To complete different battle stages and the game entirely, you must move in a way that helps you get close to the enemy, but helps you avoid enemy attacks. What you lack in range is more than made up for in movement abilities. You have wall running, a grapnel hook, a mid-air dash, and the ability to kill your momentum and slow down time. Overall, the movement is very smooth. Completing different platforming sections using wall runs, slides, and a grapnel hook is satisfying. If you like Titanfall, you would feel right at home, as like that game, to get good and overcome different obstacles, you must master the movement system. You could keep your boots on the ground, but that's an easy way to get flatlined.
Bye, everybody!
Instead, to keep your death slow, you need to be able to chain wall runs, dashes, slides, and grapples to make yourself a more elusive target.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. What?
Regarding combat, while you only have a few ways to kill enemies, said options are as deep and complex as the ocean. You have the sword and sensory boost to start with, but as the game progresses, you gain more abilities that require focus to be charged and used. You gain a teleport that allows you to move and go through enemies, making you invincible. You have a force push that helps you kill enemies, deflect enemy fire, and a long distance projectile attack. Lastly, you can brainwash and control enemies and make them attack other enemies. However, despite all the cool abilities I stated earlier, you don't need the abilities to beat Ghostrunner. The basic skills of sword, wall running, slide, grapnel, dash, and sensory boost would be enough to complete all the levels in the game. Yet if you want to overcome the challenges without dying 5,000 times and have more fun in the game, you must engage and understand all the game mechanics perfectly.
See? I'm just like one of you! I'm learning!
Knowing what routes to take in a combat arena, when to get in close, and what abilities to use and when makes for fun and engaging gameplay. With enough time and practice, you can overcome all the enemies in the game with the kill, die, repeat cycle and start to figure out their attack patterns and weaknesses. With the basic pistol enemy, with enough practice, you can deflect their fire back at them. With the assault rifle enemy, whilst they can get a lot of shots at you, there's an extended period where they can't shoot, so you have the perfect opportunity to get in close. Some enemies have shields that must be attacked from the sides or back. Shielded enemies are often the simplest use of sensory boost, but with enough practice you can do it so fast that you won't need it. Sluggers jump and slam into the ground, often requiring a sensory boost or the dash to avoid a shockwave. However, if you're good enough at the game, you can kill sluggers whilst in midair or avoid their jumps using the platforming mechanics. You must also consider that platforming challenges are often mixed with combat encounters to make the level design and combat more dynamic. Some platforms and surfaces lead to game over, so you must engage with the platforming mechanics alongside the combat to reach your enemy whilst not being hit and avoiding dangerous surfaces. Getting in close is dangerous, but mastering the tools would make getting in close safer, more accessible, and deadlier for the enemy. You may use a blink to get close to one group of enemies, wall run to exit, and use a sensory boost to avoid gunfire and get to the next enemy.
Take one step on that rope and I'll cut it. My, What big muscles you got.
As you progress throughout the game, the upgrade system expands and becomes interesting, and I honestly wish more games would implement this upgrade style. It's a Tetris-like grid, and you can choose from various upgrades that fall under different categories, such as your dashes and blink. The stronger upgrades in each category are bigger and have more protrusions, whereas weaker upgrades take up less grid space. An extra dash would be incredibly strong, so it takes up more space. The sensory boost highlighting enemies isn't that strong, so it takes up less real estate. I like this upgrade system because there is a trade-off between having a few stronger upgrades or multiple weaker ones, and there's also a trade-off between having more potent abilities or having your abilities recharge quicker. Remember that killing enemies recharges your focus bar, and with fewer upgrades taking up the grid, this would increase the amount of energy provided by one kill. More energy from one kill would mean your abilities are more readily available, but said abilities are relatively weak. As the game progresses, you gain more upgrades to choose from as you gain more abilities, and at the same time, your grid expands, so you can choose to upgrade the new ability you've just received or keep your grid free and have your energy received per kill to increase. It all leads to a well thought out upgrade system that encourages players to experiment to see what they prefer and what would be best for the different combat situations. I wish more games were like this, where the player has options and can choose between upgrades or not to upgrade at all and still receive a benefit. In other games, the upgrades tend to be linear and there is no point in using a previous ability, as said ability is just a weaker version of a new one.
Let's see what he's done this time.
Concerning the story though, it's so unbelievably predictable that I will spoil it, as you can probably figure out who will betray you in 3 hours. After losing to the main villain in the opening prologue, you must climb back up to the top of the tower.
Everyone, grab hold.
Buzz, why not just take the elevator?
They'll be expecting that.
You have two companions who talk and guide you throughout levels but are at odds with one another. One person is awfully pragmatic and is pretty much the villagers from Hot Fuzz.
How can this be for the greater good? Shut it!
In contrast, the other is the compassionate one who speaks and praises the humanity of the Ghostrunner and wants to save all the people all the time.
I want you to look me in the eye and promise you won't get behind the wheel without some kind of alcoholic beverage in your hand.
I promise nothing.
Take a wild guess who betrays you in the end. This is Zach, not Zach, signing off. Please remember to like, favorite, and subscribe.